Guess what? Halo is changing. No longer is it going to be about this. No more shooting aliens, no more action. No, that's out the window. Now, it's going to be about finding companionship. When you go into the game, you'll be looking for a partner, looking for love, trying to partner people up. And guess what? It's not just Halo, Call of Duty 2. And many others are following suit. Isn't that exciting? Isn't that why you want to play? You want to partner people? Romance? No? Hello, and welcome to Writer and Raider. So, I've had some time to think about the Tomb Raider leaks, Tomb Raider plot leaks, and I've come up with a theory. So if you haven't heard, reportedly, in the new game, Lara Croft is going to be leaving behind family issues and taking on loneliness, dealing with loneliness. She will be teaming with a group of raiders, and she will be less destructive and focusing on protecting artifacts. So when I first heard this, I was very devastated, very disappointed. I, of course, was mad too, frankly. But I only saw what was on the surface. Now I've had time to let that simmer in my head, and I've come up with a theory. I believe this game might feature elements of romance, this new Tomb Raider. When I gave the part about the loneliness and the group of raiders some thought, I started to think that they're setting this up for Lara to find companionship. And I think that's a pretty scary thought. It's definitely gonna lose a lot of people. I mean, even without this possibly coming to be, it's already, the concept sounds like it's pretty bad. But if they really are going to bring in this romance, this is my theory. If they bring that in, it's just gonna really destroy Tomb Raider. Of course, it's never been about romance. I was thinking that we don't know what the gameplay is like, but maybe it's going to be like Dragon Age. Maybe you have your character, 8 other characters, or 4, whichever Dragon Age you're playing, or Mass Effect, whatever. Maybe Lara is maybe you're going to have her pick who she falls in love with. Or, worst case scenario, because of how things are now these days with media and entertainment, how things are becoming more and more woke, they might actually finally make her gay. And I think that would ruin the whole thing, ruin the game. I would definitely not forgive Crystal Dynamics if they went down that road. I think it would just ruin it, and this is just my theory though, because I got to thinking, loneliness plus group of people, they're trying to get Lara a companion. They're trying to help her find companionship, or aiming for that. Because we all know that these people that make the game, they've gone to extreme lengths, it seems like, to try to erase the original Lara, create something that's not Lara anymore. So they could do something that stupid because they have no respect for the original concept, original character. Like so many things these days, so many things are getting destroyed, from Lord of the Rings to Halo to, I guess Last of Us, Star Wars for sure. And it's really sad. The entertainment industry is just going downhill, and Tomb Raider is, I feel like with the reboot trilogy, they didn't ruin it. I think it had issues, but it was still fun. It wasn't exactly true to her character at all, the classic, but it still had something there that was fun and entertaining. They made Lara pretty bland, but she was still fun at the same time. I know that sounds weird. They made her weaker, but that was pretty much the issue for me. Weaker and more emotional. But you could still enjoy the game. You could still enjoy her character, even though she wasn't original. She wasn't classic. She wasn't what we really want. My point is, the reboot trilogy didn't ruin Tomb Raider. It came close to it, but it really didn't when you compare it to other things that have been destroyed. So now I think it's Lara's time. I think that they're finally coming for her, for real. And, we got by a long time being lucky with not seeing this happen, but I think it's her turn now, which is so unfortunate. Anyway, they mention she's going to be less destructive. So I'm wondering, does that mean there's not going to be any shoot 'em up elements to it? I think that Lara was always kind of reckless, but in a good way. I'm kind of like, why even make the game if this is the story of less destructive Lara? Is she going to be in her manor just trolling the internet or something? But, maybe that means there's going to be more focus on exploration. Because in the classics, it's more, there's not as much combat. But at the same time, if you, actually, Tomb Raider 2, there's a lot of bad guys, and you got a good selection of weapons. Tomb Raider 3, I think the combat wasn't as intense. The bosses were very challenging. And The Last Revelation was definitely more based on exploration than anything, because you had enemies. It was a good balance, and it wasn't just focusing on shooting. Like the newer games, there's a lot of focus, heavily focused on just shooting and stuff. So maybe that's one thing that they might do right, is they might cut back on the fighting element. But at the same time, calling her less destructive makes her sound kind of wimpy. I don't understand why they want to tear her down. They preach so much, they have no logic, because they preach so much about how women are victims in games and movies, which in my opinion is not true. I grew up watching tons of movies, playing tons of games, and every time I watch something now, it's so annoying. I'm always thinking, she's not a victim, she's kicking ass. There's diversity in this. It's like I never used to have to think that way, but now because people are always talking about it, I'm like arguing with them in my head, just saying, you guys are idiots because you were born yesterday if you think that women are victim in all games and there's no female leads. It's like there are tons of female leads. Anyway, I don't know why they're tearing her down, making her more weak, because they preach about more fierce females, and they don't know what that is, or they don't really want it. I don't know, they're liars. They want to make Lara more dependent. She sounds very insecure with this team of raiders backing her up. I know they said that she's inspired them, but I think that the words are empty. You can make a character anything you want, but how they really are is going to come through in their actions. You can say that they're a badass, but if they're not going to do anything badass, they're not really a badass. You can call her clever and smart, but if she's not making the cracks and the jokes and the saying the things that make you go, damn, she good, she's not really clever and witty. You can call her that, but it's as the character, but it's not gonna. If the character's not doing those things, then those are empty words. And I think it'd be really horrible to, as I was saying before, if they made her gay, because I was thinking about her past, and if you've played Angel of Darkness, she was pretty flirty with Curtis Trent. They had a little spark, they had a little thing. But of course the game was not centered on that, and if they had made a sequel, it would not be the center of it. In Tomb Raider Cradle of Life, Lara fell in love with that character Terry. I don't know his last name, but Gerard Butler played him. But in the end, she shot him because he betrayed her. But there was a little romance element. It was okay. It was subtle. And you had the comics. She kind of flirted with that Chase Carter, I think his name was. And if you really want to just go all the way, you got she gave Alex a kiss in Tomb Raider 2013. I didn't think that was a big deal, but I just thought I'd throw that in there. Essentially, I'm saying that she's straight, and I think that making her gay would just be dumb. I think that that's tearing her character apart. I don't know why they want to do that. I don't know. It's like they're jealous of classic Lara. Maybe they're jealous of Toby Gard for creating such a strong woman, because maybe they just don't like him and they don't like men. Who knows? These people have no logic. I just know that Crystal Dynamics might be going to become the next Naughty Dog. I wanted to mention that, of course, people will like the new game if it is really based on these leaks. And there might be some fans that want to give it a test, and that's fine. But what I think would be sad is more people liking this. I think it'd be sad for people to get into this game because it's kind of a lie. This is not real Lara. This is not real Tomb Raider. These people will say, I like Tomb Raider, but that's not Tomb Raider. If you're a classic fan, you'll be thinking, well, that's not Tomb Raider, you know? And it's sad because, like I said, it's a lie. I think that the people making it are using Tomb Raider, the title, just as a platform to push their own thing, their own agenda. I don't know why they just can't make their own thing, but it's probably because they know that if they make their own character, it's gonna flop. Nobody's gonna care about it, because writing is a lost art. I think that entertainment is just going downhill, no matter where it's at: movies, video games, books. So I don't know, if Tomb Raider dies, it might be for the better, because I don't want to see them continue to destroy her, and I don't want to see a non-Lara, Lara with a U, come to popularity. I'd rather see it die sooner rather than later. I want to see it die while classic Lara still has an influence. And honestly, I don't think she's ever gonna, her character is never gonna die. She's left a legacy already. Crystal Dynamics can try to destroy her, but they won't be able to. They can't match her. I think they're jealous of her somehow. It's like, why be jealous of a video game character? It's kind of like how a lot of female characters are getting uglified. I don't know why. It's like they think... I've heard people say that they don't want to offend anybody by making them too sexy, and it's just like... Nobody, at least from people I've known, it's like it's... I don't get jealous of video game characters. I don't even think about that when I play. Well, I'll keep you updated on the story of the new Tomb Raider. Thank you for watching. And I just want to highlight again that a lot of things I've said are just theories. You know, maybe these leaks were just a sick joke. It felt like a joke to me. Maybe this is not going to happen, so I'm just chatting, theorizing, having some fun, just sharing my thoughts with fellow Tomb Raider fans. So just take what I said with a grain of salt. But if you'd like to share some thoughts, feel free to comment below. And I just want to say thank you for watching. Like, share, and subscribe if you like. And I will talk to you later. Thank you.